Delia, I don't know why it says quick test still in the description, because it's not supposed to. I don't know how to edit it. Ah. Um, just hold on a second. No, I've changed my streaming software today, and it seems that obviously with the new setup, there's bound to be bugs all around. But it looks like it's updated now, and that's perfect. So I've done a little bit of work, as you can see, in spending the whole day placing or planting more wheat and adding a little bit of a chill area in the backyard and all those nice sort of things. So Delia, I've updated streaming software, so I'm basically streaming multicasting on Twitch and YouTube. So we'll just see how it goes. Obviously doing this for the first time, there might be a little bit of few hiccups, but nothing I think I can't deal with. Uh, both streams seems to be going and working, kind of. Well, definitely working. YouTube seems to be lagging a little bit behind, but that's not a problem. We'll just go with it. Yes, we will definitely learn from those hiccups. I mean, isn't that the best way to learn? From your own mistakes? Well, I've always seen it that way. So I'm just trying to kind of break up the wheat over here. Misfits with a raid. Well, thank you so much and welcome, raiders. I hope I can entertain you for a little bit. Crystal Light 808 from YouTube. Hello, welcome in. Misfits! I'm so happy to see all of you in here. So I've just spent the day basically expanding the wheat field at the back of the build. It's coming along really nicely. As you can see, the wheat is growing, and that's perfect. Shasha, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. And yes, so the plan for the stream tonight, basically I need to fill all of this still with wheat. And then I was thinking maybe I have a little bit of a hedge between these fields here where it drops off, just to keep myself from trampling the crops all the time. Because knowing me and knowing what I do, I will probably just be running over here and the wheat will not be growing when I'm done. So on this side, I want to just add a little bit of carrots and potatoes just to break the wheat a little bit close to the house over here. And yes, that's the plan. Yes, Betty, and thanks for popping in, Betty. I don't think I've greeted you. And now this little piggy smelled the potato. Well, unfortunately, I have very limited potatoes in my hand, so the piggy can't get any. And I do believe I've got some beetroot seeds lying around somewhere as well. So yes, Misfits, my apologies. I didn't ask how your stream was because I was kind of hanging out in it most of the time. But yes, your streams are always great. I guess for both for you and for us viewers, because you make it fun and you allow us to judge you, and yes, that's always fun. Unfortunately today, well, you guys all know I've been very tired because I've been working, putting in a lot of hours at work, and today was an off day. I didn't go to work. I had the time to relax. And what do I do for relaxation? I come on here and I play a little bit of Minecraft. That just always gets the mind chill, and yes, that's the fun. Yes, Daily, you must definitely check out Misfit streams. Misfit is, well, like I said, she allows us to, well, I say she allows us to judge her, but it's not really judging. Misfits hasn't been playing Minecraft for that long, so I guess she appreciates all the advice and help that we offer her, even if we sometimes expect her to do things that some Minecraft veterans are still struggling with. She's good fun, and I think that's why her channel has been growing so nicely. I mean, if you look at the channel and consider how long she's been on Minecraft and how long she's been streaming, she's doing really well. Yes, Minecraft is the best relaxation. Everyone, if I'm a little bit slow to respond to chat, I am just trying to keep up or keep an eye on all the streaming metrics as well. As I said, I'm trying out the multicasting today, streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. So those of you that's watching from YouTube, thanks for popping in. I know I've been neglecting you guys over on the tubes, but since I started on Twitch, I realize I've been neglecting YouTube, which is why I decided to just try the multi-stream, just to give you guys on YouTube also a little bit of action. And I have plans to get back onto the mod review and mod spotlight videos on YouTube. I've got a few scripts I'm working on, so you will get new content very, very soon. What's up? We are just building a little bit of a wheat field. How do I pronounce your name? Cackle MC. Well, look, to be honest, everybody, or for those of you that don't know, English is definitely not my first language. I think I'm doing pretty well with English, but sometimes I do mess up words, and I mess up names, and I mess up a lot of things. But I try to have fun with it. So I hope you are all up for that. Now, I don't know, I'm playing on the Drax Clubhouse SMP, and I do get the feeling that there might be a mod or an add-on on this server that allows animals to spawn, because this little piggy hasn't always been here, and I can't imagine him traveling too far to get here. Those cows over there, well, let's just say I gathered a lot of leather around the base, and those cows definitely shouldn't be there unless they somehow respawned. So I don't know, Delhi, you probably don't know, and maybe I should just ask the question to one of the admins on the server, just to get a little bit of clarity. So yes, everybody, guys, like I said, I was in Misfits stream, but I didn't catch everything. I was busy with quite a few of my own things today. So what have all you been up to today? Yes, Delhi, I know. That's why I said you probably wouldn't know, but I do have the suspicion there's something. So anyway, the red sheep over there has been with me for a while because I've been sharing it for wool. There's a brown sheep and another red sheep also hanging around here, which I know has been, there's the other red sheep. I know these guys has been with us for a while, but I do suspect there's new animals spawning from time to time. Or maybe it's just my imagination. Misfits, you're welcome to lurk for a few minutes, or for an hour or two as well if you'd like. No problems. Lurkers are also always welcome. Cackle, this is a community server, so for you to be able to join, you would need to hang out in the community. Once the admins for the server get to know you a little bit, then you could always ask to join the server. It is, as Delhi is saying, exactly what Delhi is saying. I'm so not used to having people in my chat that could answer questions. And I think, Delhi, we should know the answer to that question by now. We should both know the answer to that question by now, because Dadcraft has been great in providing the answer in stream. So, Crystal Light, you say you're going to be playing Minecraft later, but right now you're playing The Sims. I remember when I first got the PlayStation 2, my wife and I used to play Sims together. Now, personally, I do like any sort of simulation game, even though majority of my time, well, I'm saying majority of my time, but it's actually all of my gaming time goes into Minecraft at the moment. And it's actually not right saying that it's at the moment, because I guess most of my gaming time has gone into Minecraft for the last couple of years. I think if I have to tell you how much time I've spent playing other games over the last couple of years, that might be a very small number of hours compared to what I've been putting into Minecraft. So truth be told, my Minecraft journey over the last couple of years has been very much heavily modded Minecraft. So for the last few months that I've been playing more vanilla-ish Minecraft. I mean, this is definitely not pure vanilla, but it's definitely much more vanilla than I'm used to. And it's been a fresh experience. It's really been a nice experience, and I think it's being helped along with the sheer volume of content that Mojang has been adding to the game lately. Deli, thanks for having my back, man. I really, truly do appreciate it. Betty, you're retired, so you've got lots of time, Minecraft time in your days. Well, that's... You know what? A few years back, I would have said that if you're retired and playing Minecraft, that's strange, that's odd. But today, I mean, over the last couple of months, I've really come to realize that the Minecraft player base in general is not as young as anybody would have thought. I think if you look at I really enjoy Hermitcraft, and if you look at the age of some of those creators, I mean, I think majority of them is over 30, with a handful of them being in their 40s. And I mean, that's not the sort of age group where you would be expecting to have a lot of gamers. And I think it's also the thing of, if you watch a lot of gaming content on YouTube, a lot of the content creators on there are pretty young. But like I say, since I found out that there's a lot of older people, I'm saying older people, but I don't see myself as older yet. But there's a lot of people in my age group that does play the game, does make content on the game, and that sort of is a motivating factor. That sort of got me, put some drive into me to actually put more effort into playing Minecraft, and also to return to streaming. I mean, I've had more than a year break from streaming. Yes, Batty, I've also been playing for just about 14 years. I've started out to overcome a fear of heights. Now I use it to keep my mind active. And that's exactly it. I think there's so many ways to play Minecraft, and there's so many different approaches to take to the game that it will definitely keep your mind active. I think especially even more so if you start diving into redstone. And I mean, it's not only redstone. I mean, there's so many directions you can take in this game that I think the possibilities are endless. And especially, like you say, you've got a lot of time, so I think you can well, you say it's good to teach others some of the tricks that you've learned. And you know what? The thing is, you're talking about teaching others the tricks that you've learned. So as I said, I've also been playing Minecraft for around about 14 years. And I find myself a lot of the time where I'm still learning new things. It's amazing that if you've been playing a game for so long, that there can still be so many things about the game and the way things work in the game that you don't know. But I guess that's what makes it fun. That's what keeps it interesting, keeps it entertaining. Um, no, it's definitely not a Welsh accent. I'm from South Africa, so that's a what we call an Afrikaner accent. So my home language is Afrikaans, which is basically very similar to Dutch, but similar in the sense of if you understand Dutch or if you speak Dutch and I listen carefully and you don't speak too fast, I can catch most of what you're saying. But yes, it's not Welsh, it's Dutch or Afrikaner. And yes, as I said, definitely English isn't my first language. Even though I speak English basically all day, every day at work, I do still find myself stuttering sometimes, trying to find the right words for what I want to say. But it's all good. In the end, I am getting there, and I guess it's my command of the English language is good enough for you guys to understand me. Yes, Betty, you definitely learn a lot from other people's streams. I find that I usually see something on other people's streams or see how to do something which I've always known you can do it. But if you see somebody else actually doing it, you realize that it's not as complicated or as difficult as you first would have thought it is. Like, for example, the iron farm up there. For many, many years, I've never built iron farms because I thought it's so complicated to do, and it's actually quite a simple setup. So now you can learn a new accent. The thing is, over here in South Africa, you've got two sorts of, or two kinds of accents. You get the real more of a English accent, and then you get the more of the Afrikaner accent. So in South Africa, we've basically got two different sorts of accents. I don't know, Baddy, do you ever watch any Hermitcraft content? Because you can, what I'd say you should do is, if you have time and you want to grab a little bit of content, and you can watch this. One of the hermits is Rendog. His YouTube channel is rendog.tv. So he is from South Africa as well, even though he's moved to, I think, to England a long time ago. But he's still got the South African accent, but more, he grew up in an English household, so he's got the other South African accent, the more of the English sort of accent. And if you find accents interesting, you can always have a look at some of his content and you can compare the two accents from South Africa. I always find different accents quite interesting and also fun to listen to. Because I think in today's content market, a lot of the content creators are either American or from Europe. And so that's basically the accents that you do hear a lot of. I mean, I do love the Australian accent as well. Australia, a lot of people say that the Aussie accent is quite close to the South African accent. Yes, Betty, so you say you were a scientist in real life and worked with people all over the world, lots of different accents and dialect slang. That's the other thing, the slang. Because look, South Africa is not such a big country. I think we've got just about 60 million people in South Africa. The Afrikaner community is much smaller. I think maybe about 7 million or 7, maybe 5 million Afrikaners, Afrikaans speaking South Africans. And in that, there is probably, if I would have to take a guess, there's about 10 different sort of regional variations of the language with a lot of different slang terms. Maxton, welcome in and thanks for the follow. What are you up to? Crystal Light, you say you love watching Hermitcraft. You watch a bunch of different hermits and they all sound so different, which is fun because I come from an area that has an accent. Yes, like I say, like Hermitcraft has got Australian, South African, American, British. It's really a bunch. And I try to watch as many different hermits as possible. Yes, Misfits, thanks. Batty, thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying the accent. Like I say, I'm all too happy as long as you can understand me perfectly. The accent doesn't bother me much. When I first started creating content, it did take me quite a while to get used to my accent because prior to that, before starting to make content, I basically never listened to my own voice. So it did take a little bit of getting used to hearing myself speak. So, Muck, you just finished eating lunch. What did you have for lunch? I'm sure you told Misfits, but like I say, I wasn't concentrating on Misfits stream today. Yes, Muck. Well, you know what? I've caught a few of your streams on stuff and things, and especially I remember the one where you were in the Nether. That was edge of the seat stuff. So yes, guys, if you like SMP content, definitely have a look for the stuff and things SMP content. And then Clockcraft Misfits, that's where Mullet plays on, right? But they are getting to the end of the season now, if I'm correct. Pizza! Okay, Muck, you know what, eh? I'm trying to sound excited for your pizza, but I've had so much pizza over the last week with all the work and everything that, to be honest, the sound of pizza isn't exactly exciting me. Unless maybe there was pineapple on the pizza, then you might get me excited. Batty, 100%, you're welcome to stream or you're welcome to lurk. I always appreciate any and every supporter of the channel. I think I've had pizza 2 or 3 times in the last week or so. So I'm quite literally not excited for a pizza. A good burger though, on the other hand. A good burger sounds like something I could go for. Even though right now I am quite stuffed because the dinner was quite delicious. Even if I say so myself, because I've made it. So we had a nice chicken mayonnaise with cheese on a very freshly baked piece of bread, almost like a panini sort of bread. And it was so nice. Obviously, I went for something a little bit easier for dinner tonight. Just because, well, honestly, I wasn't in the mood for anything complicated. But you know, those ones, those of you that's from the Americas with just having gone through Thanksgiving, I mean, you guys should be pretty fed up with food by now. Deli, you're getting hungry now? A taco pizza tonight. That sounds... Well, to me it sounds interesting, but it also sounds delicious. And Muck, you're more than welcome to lurk. As I told Batty as well, I appreciate any and every little bit of support. Like I say, this is Twitch streaming is a bit of a new thing to me. And every one of you in the chat, even if you're lurking, it kind of makes me feel like I'm doing something right, something good. Geez, now how many wheat seeds have I planted today? Well, looking at it from this angle, it's not that many, but it feels much more than it actually is. Deli, listen, if you're saying food is your motivator, listen. I will literally sell my soul for good food. I think I seriously have a problem with good food, in the sense of I enjoy it too much. And I must say I'm pretty handy in the kitchen. Or not in the kitchen, behind the stove. I'm pretty handy behind the stove. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy making good food. That's not necessarily a good thing for my figure, for weight, and keeping the weight down. The problem with my relationship with food is that I enjoy lots and lots of rich foods. Like, I'm really into pastas and good breads and potatoes and rice. I enjoy rice as well. Also, all sorts of different types of rice. And all that, all those carbs are definitely not all too healthy. Same here. Your favorite is Japanese food, not big on the seafood part, but everything else I want to try. But I'm also fascinated with Japanese culture. I've always been since I was like 10. Listen, Delhi, so I haven't tried lots of Japanese foods. So over here, where I am, there's lots of Chinese restaurants. But I can't say that I've seen anything Japanese. And when it comes to seafood, I have a little bit of an allergic reaction to most seafood, so I usually just stay as far away from seafood as possible. So any sort of seafood tends to clog up my airways, and then I struggle to breathe, and that's not a very nice feeling. Crystal, you're saying you would kill for some nice well-made rice with like stuffed potatoes on the side, stuffed baked potatoes possibly, like a roast, perfectly baked and crispy, but the roast juices on the rice. Now that's my kind of food, Crystal. Genuinely, that is my... If that didn't take so long to make, I would probably have that every day. And then you can imagine, have you ever watched these My 400-Pound Wada Wada on I think on TLC? I think, yes, you guys should be able to get TLC. Or I think even on, there's other channels as well. Lifetime probably has similar series. I would definitely look at that like one of those people if I were to have that sort of food every day. No, Delhi, there's only like 2 Japanese restaurants near you. The rest is all Chinese restaurants or Mexican. I'm from a town where they test new restaurants and franchises before they branch out more in the US. You know what? I've heard a lot about Mexican food as well. And I can't say that I've tried a lot of Mexican food again because there's no real good Mexican places close to me. There has been a few popping up, but if you listen or read the reviews from them, it's not authentic Mexican food. And I mean with Mexican food, Japanese, Chinese, even Indian food. And that's another thing, I do enjoy myself some good Indian food. I like the spice of Indian food. But anyway, what I was saying, these days you can slap a label on anything. I mean, what really is Chinese food? What really is Mexican food? People will slap a label on it and tell you that's what it is, and if you don't know better, you'll just go with it. You'll believe it. So Crystal, add some broccoli, possibly some grilled fish. Gosh, that would have been a great Thanksgiving meal, but we did have prime ribs, so I'm not complaining. Listen, Crystal, I've just finished dinner maybe an hour back. And all this talk of good food is making me hungry again, even though while I'm still feeling stuffed, it's it's kind of making me hungry again. And you know what? Adding some broccoli. Now, listen, broccoli is one of those, I never used to like it. But these days, I guess I enjoy all kinds of vegetables. And broccoli, especially if you just like sort of flash cook the broccoli. It must not be overcooked. Must still have a little bit of a crunch to it. That is such a lovely meal. And prime rib, I love myself a piece of prime rib as well. Like I say, the fish part you can have all to yourself. I'm not too bothered with fish, since I do have a negative reaction with seafood. I just stay away from all sorts of fish and other seafoods. Yes, Delhi. So the thing with Indian food, and that's where a lot of people sort of misunderstand what Indian food is. Because people, or a lot of people, think Indian food is like really spicy and it's going to be really hot. But the thing what I found with Indian food, it's more about the blends of spices in the food. It's not necessarily about how hot the food is. And I've had a lot of Indian dishes it's not that hot, but all the different spices they use really brings out all that flavors in the food. So Barry, you say you love a good spicy Japanese curry. Yes, like I say, I do enjoy curries as well. But the best curries I've had is definitely like the Indian kind. Crystal, yeah, don't worry. I've been through anaphylactic shock before. Mine is towards even slightly spoiled food, because the mold that grows on spoiled food is penicillin, which you're allergic to. Listen, I think in today, being allergic to penicillin, because there's so many good medications that contains penicillin, that's a bit of a tough one. Because now doctors will need to be much more careful as to what sort of medications they prescribe to you. And the problem with that is, now you get to a point where the medication becomes more expensive, because they need to find other ways of kind of healing the body without the penicillin. Barry just likes spicy food. Look, I do too, but nobody in my house really enjoys spicy food, so I'm on my own there. And guys, let me just be quiet for a second and have a little bit of a water break. I've been talking much more than I usually do, which is fun. I'm enjoying it. So I was speaking to Misfit yesterday. Misfit joined my stream yesterday just before I logged off, and we had a few minutes where it was only Misfit and myself in the chat. And I told her that I enjoy, or sometimes I do really enjoy, these one-on-one sessions where the chat isn't really busy. You've got one person you're talking to, and that sort of creates a little bit of a different vibe. But then on the other hand, I also enjoy if there's a little bit more activity in the chat. I think it just, you get to meet, Delhi, you and I were speaking about it, you get to meet so many different people and different personalities, especially when the chat is quite busy. And I think that's one of the fun parts of streaming, one of the fun parts of watching live streams, I think, is just that instant communication. I almost want to say you get some sort of instant gratification out of streaming, where you've got this live chat. When making YouTube videos, you publish the video, it takes a day or two before it goes off, before it actually gains traction, and then it takes a few days for people to comment on the videos. So that's not nearly as instantly gratifying as actually being in a live chat. So Crystal Light, you say your difference bloodlines, I don't know what to call it, are all connected to their food. I was raised on Hawaiian food, but I've had my share of Blackfoot, Indian, Native American, Puerto Rican, and Filipino foods. So you have had quite a bit of different foods that you've grown up with. But again, now you're talking about Native American and Filipino foods. Now tell me a little more, what exactly does, for example, what does Filipino food really consist of? What makes it different than other sorts of foods? Daily break time, time for pretzels and cheese. Well, I guess for break time, that's as good a snack as any other. Now, when you're talking about cheese, that's one of the... There I've got another bad relationship. Because I can really stuff my face with cheese and not even feel guilty about it. I'll eat cheese for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And as I said earlier, so I really enjoy rich foods. And when it comes to rich foods, there's always lots of cheese in the meals that I make. That's really not all too healthy. Betty, welcome back. I think you said a sort of a hedge will work nicely here between the drop off. Now I do want to get, I'm hearing a spider somewhere. It's going to probably not be too friendly. So I was thinking when we were talking about this hedge here, I really like the mangrove leaves. Unfortunately, I don't have any right now. I am growing a few mangrove trees over there on my tree island. So I'll go and grab some leaves in just a minute, because I think I am going to wait for this tree to grow before I add more weeds around it. So I guess I can take a little bit of a break from the weeds, from the wheat planting, and go and grab a few mangrove leaves and see if we can just build a little bit of a ledge in here. So Crystal Light, Filipino foods are usually a mix of flavors. Like there's one that is sour soup. Honestly, a lot of soups with vegetables, different flavors, some soups with nuts in them, and a few other things. Well, I do enjoy a good soup, especially with different sorts of vegetables. I'm always experimenting with different sorts of soups. But I've never thought of adding nuts to the soup. That sounds really, really interesting. Alright, Galaxy Kid. This is a community server I'm playing on. So if you would want to join, you will need to be hanging out in the community, on the community streams. And then once the server admin starts to get to know you a little bit better, you can request to join. As I said, it's a community server, and it's a community where we all look after each other. So I'm sure you can understand that they don't want to just let anybody in. They would first need to get to know you a little better. So you can hang out in my streams, you can and just be a little bit active in the streams. Let the admins know. Admins are usually popping into the streams, and yes, that's the best answer I can give you in terms of how to join the server. It is a fun server. It's really everybody on the server is always ready to help everybody else. So yes, it's a really fun server to be part of. But as I said, the best advice I can give you in order to join is to hang out in the streams, be active in the chats. That way the server admins will get to know a little bit about you, and then you might be able to actually join at some point. It is really difficult for me to tell you how long it takes, because I guess it's all about how active you are in the community and all that. And I think all of you can realize or can think for yourselves that it's sometimes it's difficult to bring new people onto a server, because you don't want to take the risk in bringing somebody on that's going to be griefing. And even though the server has a lot of protection against grief and all that, that does add another level of work for the admins if you've got griefers on the server, or people on the server that's just not generally mixing well with the rest of the members of the server. And I think it's important to try and prevent those bad apples from joining. No, I didn't even get one proper guild there. Waste of bone meal. Crystal, going to do something that uses a lot of my focus, though I do want to say this has made me really happy, and I just wanted you to know. Crystal, you know what? You being happy makes me happy, and I hope to see you again soon. I stream mostly weekdays, same time, same place. So today was the first time that I've actually tried the multicasting on YouTube and Twitter together, but you're welcome to pop in anytime. I have enjoyed having you here, and we've had a nice conversation, which is always a bonus. As I always say, lurkers are more than welcome, but having a little bit of an active chat session just makes everything more fun. Well, I wouldn't say more fun, but different kind of fun. Screw it. Thank you. So before I take down these mangrove trees, I just need to collect a few of the propagills, because I do want to get some of the mangrove leaves. And if I do that, I risk not getting propagules. And that's such a... I mean, where does the word propagule come from? Such a... I don't know. One of the funnier, weirder words in the English language, I think. So, yes. Let's see. Like I say, I do want to use some of these mangrove leaves to make a little bit of a hedge there at the wheat field. But before I do, I just want to collect a couple of these so that I can regrow these mangrove trees. I made the mistake earlier of not collecting these propagules first, and then I had to go back to spawn. Fortunately, at spawn, we've got a little community area where you can just pick up more saplings and propagules, pretty well stocked. And so it wasn't too hard to get more. But as a rule, I try to collect as much as possible of my own resources. And eventually I try to be of assistance, of help, and sharing the resources that I do collect with the other members of the server. Yes, Betty. That's exactly what Daly and I was discussing earlier. These live streams has opened up such a different view of content creation to me. And the biggest thing is the ability to meet new people, get to know new personalities, and just, I mean, because like I said, I'm from South Africa and I've got this weird, strange Afrikaner accent. Now, I get that you said you, in your real life job, you spoke to people of all sorts of, all different nationalities with all sorts of different accents and all that. But for the normal person out there that's not in an industry where you get to meet all those different nationalities, I think it makes it easier to basically meet people from all over the world. So yes, I have to say the time that I'm streaming, which is what, it's round about lunchtime in the United States, which isn't, I guess, I don't know whether it's a good time to be streaming or not. I mean, most people are at work, but what I found with streaming, and with myself as well, I tend to watch a lot of streams while I'm at work, just in the background, which before I got involved in this whole Twitch thing, I wouldn't have thought that's the case. I would have thought, like, people streaming during the day, there's not going to be anybody watching those streams. And that was the way I was thinking about it. I think that's why I was sort of hesitant to return back to streaming. But the reality is that there's lots of people that do watch streams at work in the background. So how far do you think we're going to get with these mangrove leaves? I think I've got a pretty good number here. Really got enough to get myself going at least. So let's go and see. Well, let me just plant a few more mangrove trees, because these mangrove trees are such a pain to take down. Even with this mod or add-on we've got on the server that chops down the whole tree in one go. You still have to manually chop down the mangrove roots, which is still a little bit of a hassle. Now what's going on? Oh my. Am I... Jeez. Edit, hello, welcome to the chat. We are just working a little bit on a few projects at my starter base, my tiny teeny little starter base. So we've been planting a lot of wheat seeds, filled up a lot of dirt in this area. So yes, what's up on your side? How have your day been going? I mean, we're always just talking about the different time zones. And I never know what time. We've got so many different people from so many different places always joining these streams that it's difficult to keep up with where everybody is from and what time it is all over the world. I do find it problematic with the shaders. Because with the shaders, you think it's time to sleep and then you can't sleep yet. Well, this time, he does allow me to sleep, which is awesome. And now I just want to spend a little bit of time getting this hedge in, just to prevent myself from trampling my crops. And I think this little hedge is just looking awesome. Very basic, nothing fancy. And just a little bit of a protection from trampling the crops. I'm thinking just something like that will look good and also prevent me from destroying the crops. I don't know. I think just that slight sliver of green sticking up above the wheat makes a big difference. Or a small difference that actually makes a big impact. Over here we can just do a little bit of a edge like this. Then I do want to go and have a little look, check out how the iron farm is doing. I still need to set up a better collection system at the iron farm, because currently it does fill up, or if I don't keep an eye on it, it will fill up very, well, not quickly, but it will fill up, and then I might be losing iron, even though the iron farm is producing much more iron than what I know what to do with. Much more than I could actually really use. But let's see how this... I think that looks nice. That looks, well, especially from a distance, it looks really cool. I'm quite happy with it. And I did just think planting these cherry blossom trees will just give a little bit of a pop of color in this area, and I do truly like the look of it. Really not bad, I think. So let me quickly see, is there anywhere else I need to add leaves? Maybe just go around this corner as well. I think this is all right. I'm going to fence it off on this end, just to prevent anything from dropping in on the fields from up here. So I guess I can go and put away some of these leaves, and then we can check out the pumpkin and melon farms, as well as the iron farm, just to see how things have been coming along. So this area, I think I'm going to put a few hay bales. Maybe I have a little bit of a workstation, outside workstation over here. I was considering putting a few bushes in there, but I guess I'm not going to do that. But where I do want to put a couple of bushes is right here in front of the house. I'm thinking right against the wall over here I can put a few bushes, and it might look pretty nice. And just do something like this. We use the just like that. So you can, if you look carefully, the mangrove roots does come through a little bit, and that just adds a little bit of a variation. Maybe we can have another little bush over here, just like that. That's good. And then over here as well. That looks alright. And then the rest of this will need to be filled in with flowers. I need to see if I can find a couple of those too tall flowers somewhere. As I do want to put two tall flowers at the back and then the normal flowers in front. I think that'll look pretty good. But alright, let me go and put away these leaves, and then we can check out the pumpkin and melon farm, and then also go and have a look at the progress that the iron farm has been making. The propagules, put the leaves away. Moss and moss carpets over here, and then the mangrove logs. I think it's in this chest or this one. Where is it? Really? There it is. Alrighty. So I initially made this pumpkin and melon farm so that I can automate the collection of pumpkins and melons for trading with villagers. And that was how I got most of the experience so far in this world. But now we do have a little bit of an ender farm situation going on the server, which is much better at providing experience than the simple farmer villager trades. This thing is really, as you can see, the storage system here, the storage chests are chock and block full. Probably because I haven't been here in a couple of hours. And I should probably have made a way to shut down this thing. But I guess now that we've got a better way of collecting experience on the server, I can basically just sort of deactivate this farm. I guess the best way of deactivating it would just be to, well, we can stop the minecart from running, and we can remove the redstone on top to just prevent the pistons from firing, which I believe I will need to do, because it's starting to feel like a chore to come and clear out this farm all the time. At some point, I guess I will be getting more farmer villagers going, and once I do that, I might need the farm to get back up and running. Let's see if I can get this guy to trade with me. Thank you, now you can go back to bed, okay? As you can see, we've got plenty of pumpkins and melons now. So I guess I can safely disable that farm. Oh, and our last cherry blossom tree has also decided to pop up out of the earth. I guess I need to take a quick little nap. And then we can just add a little bit of a lantern to this tree as well, just to make sure no nasty mobs spawn underneath it. Jeez, but it's coming out far to this side. Well, the further it comes out, the more of these falling leaves we get, and the more lanterns I can place on it. Just make a little bit more light for the darker times. Alright, let's quickly go and take off the redstone. so that this pumpkin and melon farm can stop running. I'm just going to run the minecart to pick up the remaining. So I'm just going to take out the redstone that connects the observers to the pistons. And that should basically stop this farm from working. Well, I would assume as much. How's that look? Alright. Let's just stop the minecart. We can empty it manually if we need to. I'm not even going to bother for now. Let's go and have a look at how the iron farm is doing. Right, let's have a little look. So all these villagers are still being scared by the zombie up there. And let's see. Ooh, juicy iron. Llama misfits, listen. I've got a problem with the llamas. I've got a serious problem with the llamas. For some reason, the llamas has been killing each other. For some reason, server lag is so lovely. Look here, I've only got 2 left. Because for some reason, these brown llamas has been spitting the white llamas to death. And I've seen it happen. I have no idea why. Maybe since you're such a llama protector, you can tell me. But I have absolutely no idea why they were spitting at each other, and eventually the white llamas lost the battle. Which is sad, because I could just have left them with the wandering trader and they would have had a better life after all. Misfits, I think that's how it started. But then when the nasty night mobs disappeared, they just continued spitting at each other. Until the white ones finally couldn't take it anymore and just left, leaving a few pieces of leather behind. Which was really unfortunate, I'm telling you. Just look at all this iron. What am I going to do with all this iron? I don't have any plans for any massive major redstone contraptions or anything. So I have no idea what I'm going to do with all that iron. I was thinking, so here's the thought. I'm thinking of building a massive, but I can't keep the mobs away from them. They are my alarm system for when there's mobs around. Because when I hear them spitting, I usually know there's mobs around and I can go and deal with the mobs. But anyway, what I was thinking was, since I'm getting so much iron, I can maybe build a massive iron golem statue to close up that iron farm up there. What do you think about that? Viable idea? Doable? That would be so cool, I agree. But I'm going to need to, well, look for a little bit of inspiration to see if there's any builds like that out there that I could just grab a little bit of inspiration from. So currently I'm struggling with a lot of server lag. You can see when I'm opening chests, sometimes it takes almost 5 seconds for the chest to pop open. But if I'm looking at the dashboard, the stream seems to be running fine. If I'm looking at my other screen as well, the stream doesn't seem to be stuttering or anything. So I guess the lag is definitely on the server side. Yes, like I say, the dropped frames is less than 0.1%, so there shouldn't be a problem on the stream side. Alright, now I need to find some too tall flowers. So I think it's time for me to grab Donkey and go for a little exploration session, don't you think? I do believe we should be able to get too tall flowers in this direction. I think there is a forest in this direction, so I believe I should be able to get some of what I'm looking for. So this donkey isn't very fast, but it's definitely faster than running. Much slower than the elytra, but you know what? I'm stingy with rockets, so I guess I don't want to be flying all over the place. Now I'm trying to do this exploration just as the sun is starting to go down, but I think there's enough people on the server that can sleep, allowing me to do a little bit of exploration. Oh, don't fall in there, please. I'm definitely not looking for poppies. I'm definitely not looking for lava to fall into. Aha, there's a few flowers. I guess we can take some of them. Don't need too many because we can easily bone meal them. Ah, Delhi, welcome back. We are now just looking for a few of those too tall flowers that I can use to decorate the front garden of the starter house. And I've decided to take my donkey out for a little adventure. Now if I could find a few rose bushes, I doubt that I'll find any sunflowers close by. But let's just What's over here? Plains. Meadow. Is there two tall flowers in the meadow though? Can't really remember. Alright, we'll just take a little gander around. See if we find any other two tall flowers. Then go back home, and then maybe I will need to take a little elytra trip. Is there... Delhi, do you know whether there's two tall flowers there close to spawn? I can't remember. Maybe that's a... Maybe that would be a quicker way to get them. Maybe... Let's go and have a look at Drak's base. Drak did tell me I should go and check out her bedroom. No funny business there. But she's got a wall of hermit heads, which she said I should go check out. So I think I'm going to circle back to the base. And then we can maybe go and check out Drak's wall of heads that she's been working on. Maybe see if she got a few two tall flowers that I can borrow. Oh, Delhi just had a snack of pretzels and cheese. You know, that's the worst thing of traveling by donkey or horse. Is these leaves or the trees. I almost thought this guy had a saddle on. Well, I've got two flowers. Or two different flowers. But I would like to get a... like maybe rose bushes as well. Sunflowers would also look good. Let's just circle back home and see. At least the advantage of using a donkey or horse, that you don't need to jump over things, as they can climb pretty well. I gotta be more of a lurker than a chatter now though. End of the day stuff, so I gotta crack down. Delhi, that's totally understandable. And you know, once you get to that time of the day where you need to finish off for the day, that's round about almost the time that I'm finishing my stream. But I've still got a little bit of time for today. Probably gonna be streaming for at least another half an hour. Might be more, might be, well, wouldn't be less, I think. Well, it depends on what I find, and if I find anything to keep the motivation going. The longer I can keep the motivation going, the longer I can stream for. And I'm telling you one thing, falling off a cliff, definitely not going to keep the motivation going, so I better not do that. But is it safe? Can I go down here with Donkey? I don't want to hurt Donkey or anything. But I mean, you need to get down. preferably not fall into any big holes, which I know there are a few of them around. Oh, that's alright. Seems that we are safe. Safely making our way back home. We've got a few... What's that turtle doing? Did you see that? That turtle was literally standing up. I'm telling you, these mobs in this game, I think they are putting on a front. Because I catch them a lot standing on their 2 legs instead of 4. Standing upright like a human should be doing. Alright, let's head over quickly to Drax's base. Just see if she maybe has a couple of 2 tall flowers. I should probably just grab some bone meal for in case she does. So I can just maybe kind of duplicate it. Get my own. Don't really want to take anything that she might miss. And I do want to go check out a wall of heads. Jeez, server. What's going on? Jeez. Really? I'm gonna die. No. Something's really... I'm gonna lose connection now. Something's not gelling. Something's not working right. Ow. I knew it. I was waiting for this to happen. We'll check now if we can get back in. Is that the... Well, the server is still up. Thing is a little bit low. But let's see where we are. Hopefully... Alright, everything seems to be alright. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I was just concerned, Misfits, that since I was flying with the Elytra that I might be coming back into this world high up in the air and not survive. What is... interesting. Now I need to find Drax's bedroom. And no funny business with the bedroom. It's just that she said I must check it out. And she's busy. She's been a busy lady. What's going on here? Oh, look at the kitty cat. See, I'm going to be kicked again because I'm not touching anything. Oh, look at the kitty cat. This is my favorite cat in the game. Other than the black one with the orange eyes. That cat looked so big because I was in fly mode. And I got pretty close to it, I think. I'm seriously having... Just look at my signal strength. I don't know. I'm experiencing a lot of server lag here. For some reason. Now she doesn't even have a bed in Drax's house. I think... Oh, she's got flowers I want. So I'll definitely come and just duplicate them. What? Okay, Batty, sorry, I'll get... I've just been struggling with laggy things here. Let me just catch up on chat. Do you have a mapping mod? Yes, Batty, I'm also using Zero's minimap and world map, but I prefer to switch off the minimap. So I do have the minimap, but I switch it off usually. I don't like... I like to live a little bit on the wild side. So I prefer not to use the minimap. But I am also using Zero's maps. Deli, you say you like the parrot scores, how they dance? Wish my bird danced like that. Listen, our cockatiel likes dancing like that when it smells food. Yes, I'm wild. Well, I try to be sometimes. Or most definite. Ah, here's the wall. So Drac has been collecting all the hermit heads that the wandering trader is selling. So which ones did I... that one is funky. She's got Iskal, False Symmetry, Gem, Zedaf, Vintage Beef, Zuma, Rendog, B-Dubs, Scar. Well, she's making good progress on the heads. Yes, Barry, I think that's one thing with the automation. That's where the minimap really can come in handy. To see that everything is working. But yeah, as a rule, like I say, I prefer not to use the minimap. Well, not all the time. Sometimes I will switch it on for short periods of time. But for most of the time, I prefer not having them. So I've got lilacs and I've got peonies. But I would gladly take a couple of sunflowers. Thank you, Drac. And rose bushes. I was actually really looking for rose bushes. So now we've got 4 of the 2 tall flowers, which I think is perfect. Now with this server lag going on, You see how quickly that chicken is running. Oh, now the connection looks alright. So let's just risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. And fly home. Ah, come on, load in. I'm so scared of flying when I've got this much lag going on. Because I know I'll just like go splat. Look there, I'm not touching anything and I'm still moving. Oh my word. But at least the stream is going good, so you guys can laugh at me struggling with this server thingy going on. Let me just quickly check something. Okay, listen, I'm just going to quickly try something. If the connection drops, I'll be back, I promise. I just want to try switching something to see. Alright, I should be back. Just say hello if I'm back. Looks like I'm back. Seribot says I'm back. Hello? Anybody there? Anybody? Hello? And now I've lost. Are you back? Are you back? I'm back. Let's just do a little bit. Okay, Betty, thanks so much for joining me tonight. Apologies for the server lag issues, but the stream seems to have been going great. I really enjoyed having you in tonight. I hope to see you again in the next stream, and you must have a lovely day further. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Flying, this seems much better now. Not perfect, but definitely better. Definitely much better. There. Did you see it? They were standing like on their hind legs, upright like a human does. I'm telling you, I'm not imagining it. I'm definitely not imagining it. Piggies! What are you doing? Hmm? You are outside animals, you know. You shouldn't be going into the house. I'm sure you were trying to go in there. And you shouldn't. I don't have any food. You can't eat rockets. Just imagine that. What will happen if the piggies were to eat rockets? And then you will definitely see pigs fly. Alright, the stream seems to be stable now. And the server connection also seems more stable. Alrighty, let's see if I can get some coarse dirt. As I do want to use a little bit of coarse dirt. I do have a few pieces, but I can probably make more. Gravel. Do I have gravel somewhere? Not enough. But this will probably do. How do you make coarse dirt? Isn't it just gravel and dirt? Oh, it's 2 of each. There you go, more than a stack. That should be enough. That should definitely be enough. So let's go see if we can sort out this front garden. Oh, really? Let's see if we can sort this front garden out. Plant a few trees. Add a little bit of coarse dirt. Just make it look more gardeny. Maybe a little bit more like that. Just make it a little bit rough around the edges, a little bit more uneven, and that should be perfect. We can get a little bit of coarse dirt in there. Should have enough. Oh, nobody going to sleep now, really? I should probably just go to bed quickly. Grab a little bit of a nap, get the daytime back so that we can get the flower garden sorted out. Let's see. Daytime. Do a few tall flowers. Maybe grab a couple of... I do enjoy these firefly bushes as well. But let's see. I'm going to need to make more of these. Which direction is the sunflowers going to face? Right, so I can put a sunflower there. Seem to have missed a piece of dirt. Hey Deli, glad to see you're still here after the disconnect. But the stream seems to be much better now. Or not the stream, the server lag seems to be much better now after the disconnect. Fully back in my control. Alrighty, maybe what else can we... Do I want to bring in a few more flowers, but I'm thinking, could we just bone meal the dirt? Or, yeah... Oh, bone meal doesn't work in coarse dirt. Well, when you get home, you can just chill and relax a bit. I mean, work. I've got this love-hate relationship with work at the moment. Because honestly, I do enjoy my job most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time I do. But work is still work. I guess well, we should enjoy our work. We should enjoy what we do. And sometimes it's just a little bit difficult to find joy in it. Well, I guess it is what it is. Might do one of my Gundam models from anime, and I have tons of different models for it. Alright, well, to be honest, I'm not much of an anime person. My son enjoys his anime, and he will probably know exactly what you're talking about. Me, on the other hand, I'm so not into anime. I don't know, I just never could get into it, and anything anime. I don't know. never caught my attention. Right, let's maybe get some firefly bushes in. Just like so, and then maybe a little bit of leaf litter and some of those smallish flowers, those petals. Is it petals? What are they called? Wildflowers. I don't have any of the pink ones. I guess that's alright. I can make do with what I've got. Just, well, let's just bone meal some of them to get a little more. Yeah, that's better. Just plop them down like so. Maybe over in this corner. This side. There. And the last one we'll put there and get a few of the, well, the leaf litter on the coarse dirt. Definitely not going to work. Do something like this. Right. Oops. Don't have enough. But that's alright. And then I need to bring something, and I guess I can just go and grab some pumpkins to do this. Since we've got more pumpkins than what I know what to do with, just grab some of them and make bone meal with it. So the idea is just we need to fill these composters so that it looks like the tree is actually growing in the dirt and not in the middle of the air. Now, how am I going to get in there? Come on. Ah. Progress. More. There you go. And the last one. There you go. Perfect. Now, how does our little front garden look? Is it too much? Maybe it's too much with the tall grass. I should just remove the tall grass. That does. And that one can stay. That one can stay. Let's see. How's this looking? I can live with that. That looks alright. It's totally fine if you're not into anime. My life revolves around plastic. I like miniatures for like Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer. I also have 2 3D printers and collect Legos and Gundam models. Look, I've played around with 3D printers. I have one of my friends are pretty big into 3D printers. So like I say, I have played around with it. It is interesting. Definitely using and playing with 3D printers is definitely interesting. Legos, well, I don't have a collection of Legos. I've got no desire to have them. But I can understand the Legos. At least I know what Legos are. If that's anything to go by. Then Dungeons and Dragons I've always found interesting. Warhammer, not so much. Even though if I say I find Dungeons and Dragons interesting, I don't know a lot about it, but at least I know about it. if that makes any difference. You just find the files to print. Haven't taken the jump into making my own stuff. Look, the software that you use to make your own stuff is pretty nice. It's I think if you look into it, you'll find it. I guess you should be able to figure it out pretty quickly. I've seen some of the stuff that this friend of mine is printing, and it's really amazing what you can do. Yes, definitely with the films, but listen, the 3D printers that you've got, which one is it? The one that uses the filament, or the other one? I can't remember now what the other one uses. Look, you specifically collect the Minecraft Lego sets, and you know that's the thing. I'm not much into collectibles. I mean, I'm not much into any hobbies, if I'm being brutally honest. I'm quite a boring person if you think about it. Well, I guess the thing is with saying I'm a boring person is maybe not really the correct way of describing me and my personality. Where's that bloody zombie? HenriU. Oh, resin, yes. I think the fumes of the resin is much worse. Does the filament really have fumes? I know the resin has well, the resin can put you on a trip. You don't need any of those green leaves. If you're sniffing the resin, you'll be getting much higher from the resin than from the green leaves, I think. Personal opinion, though. But what do you find? I've always, or to me at least, is the quality of the resin printer not much better than the filament. You know, with the filament, there's, well, you can tweak it and you can play around with settings and things. But I've always found that the resin has a much, I don't know, a much smoother sort of print than the filament. I guess you can change settings and things, but yes, that's my experience from it. And a good exhaust system, I think, is always very crucial for those sort of printers. I do like my little field. I guess I've got a lot more to do here, but I'm happy with the progress I've made. You can't place lanterns on leaves. That sucks. I'm going to need to light up a little more. I'm hearing this zombie and I don't know where it is. Unless it's underground somewhere. I certainly don't see it. Nope, must be underground. You mostly print when it's warm out, so you can do it outside. I just know with the bird we had to get all new cooking pans cause Teflon would kill her fast just from the fumes. And she's your baby and you don't want to do anything to put her in danger. You know what, with you saying she's your baby and whatnot, I find that pets usually do become children in the house. I know I always say that I'm not much of a dog person, but my wife's little dog will come and sleep right between my legs in bed, and I can't just kick the dog out. I don't like dogs, but that dog is not just a dog. It's sort of like family. It's a child. It's part of the family, and I guess you learn to love them if you don't do it from the beginning. But yes, I have heard some of the birds are quite sensitive to certain fumes and things. You say with her, it's like having a permanent 3-year-old running, or should I say flying around. I can just imagine. Look, so, you say you don't want kids? And I guess the first question that everybody usually will ask you is why? Why don't you want kids? Now, well, I've only got my son, and I think my wife and I have decided from the beginning that we are only going to have one child. Now, well, when my son was born, there were complications which made it dangerous for us to have a second. But I think it's not that bad to us, since we kind of decided even before he was born that we're only going to have one. But I guess, you know what, like I said, when somebody says they don't want kids, the first question is usually, but why? And I think it's up to you. I mean, if you don't want to have kids, I mean, nobody should question it. So your girlfriend had to drop out of college to take custody and raise her sisters because her mum was a drug addict. Me, my anxiety is bad enough already, don't need to throw a kid in the mix. Well, look, like I say, that's perfectly fine. I mean, a child is well, to say it's a very big responsibility isn't even the beginning of it. I mean, raising children isn't easy, and like you say, your girlfriend had to basically raise her sisters. So it's a totally understandable sort of situation, I think. Seats this side. If anything, you would adopt to give a kid in a bad situation a better life than to bring one into this world at its current state. You know what, and that is also something very that's all. I'd say that's a very good idea. There are so many children out there that is in a bad situation, or there's so many children in foster care as well, which they have nowhere to go. They don't have a family, they don't have a loving family. And to be honest, my wife and I have discussed that also at some point, to adopt. But now, when it comes to adoption, I don't know how it's over there, but in South Africa it's a little bit difficult. because you can't really decide, and I don't want it to sound bad or anything, but chances are if we were to adopt, we will most likely get a black child. And I've got nothing particularly against it, but I've seen a lot of bullying going around where I just got to the conclusion that it would be really unfair for a white family to adopt a black child. And then that child has to deal with all the bullying going about. You know, we've spoken about it before. I can't remember where we've spoken about it, but kids are brutal. Kids absolutely, they have no filter. They are absolutely brutal. And then unfortunately in South Africa, race is a big issue. I think our government just makes it worse with the way that they approach it. Exactly. I mean, I think the world we live in could actually be a much better place. But I think, personally, I think politicians are spoiling it for all of us. Just quickly hang on a second for me. Yes, like I've been saying, I think politicians are spoiling this world all over, not just any single country, but the world in general is simply being spoiled by politicians. Yep. Okay. So Daily, thanks for joining me. I think I need to get going, get to bed. At least the 12-hour shifts are over now. So tomorrow is back to a normal day at work. So at least the worst of it's over. um, but yeah, I need to get to bed, get to sleep, so that I can be ready for the day waiting for me. I thought so. I thought you might be needing to go too, because looking at the time, I guess it's pretty much getting to the end of your workday now. So thanks for the chat. Thanks for sticking with me. I've really enjoyed tonight's chat. It was so nice of Misfit rating me, and her chat coming in as well kept things, or kicked things off really nice. So I'll be streaming again tomorrow. The multi-stream seemed to have gone really well. I've got a few. How many? I had the maximum. Yeah, I got up to 8 views on 8 concurrent views on YouTube as well. So I think the multi-stream also worked out pretty good. The system seems to be running smoothly, except for the little bit of server lag I had to deal with. And then, yes, you should enjoy the rest of your day. I'll definitely catch you again tomorrow sometime. I don't know if Al is streaming tomorrow, but I'll definitely be on same time, same place. If you've got a moment or you want to have something in the background, I'll be catching you then. Yes, definitely better than having 7. So, but thanks for joining me. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Goodbye. Enjoy your day. I'm out.